Hi everyone. Today we're going to explore some pranayama, some breathing techniques that we can use to find balance, grounding, peace. So I'm going to take you through, this isn't going to be a long video. These are just some simple, really simple techniques that you can use to support yourself. So we're going to begin in a seated position and perhaps gently close down the eyes. And just start to notice the breath. Not looking to change the breath in any way, simply observing. Perhaps it's the first time in a while that you've checked in with your breath. Just notice how it feels on the inhale, on the exhale. And we're going to start with a very simple technique, which just involves extending the exhale a little. I personally have used this a lot during times of anxiety, dare I say, panic attacks that I've suffered in the past. And I call it 7-11 breathing because it's just a very easy number for me to remember. So the 7 is the count that I use on the inhale, and the 11 is the count that I use on the exhale. And as long as you're counting at the same pace on the inhale and the exhale, it's all going to be good. We just want to make sure that that exhale is slightly longer than the inhale. So it might not be a 7-11 for you. It might be a 5-6 or a 10-20. It really is completely unique, and it could change depending on how you're feeling, how your nervous system feels. So I don't like to count on people's breath for them. I approach breath work like I approach all of my therapeutic work in a trauma-informed way. So I'm going to let you explore count and explore what feels right in your body and in your breath. The only thing to bear in mind is that we want to gently encourage the exhale to be a little bit longer than the inhale. And then once we find something that feels very manageable, perhaps just see whether we can extend the exhales in any way. Once your body adjusts to this breathing pattern, perhaps we can release the counting, unless it feels helpful. And just trust that the exhale is slightly slower, slightly longer, slightly deeper. There are many, many reasons why physiologically this type of breathing supports a healthy nervous system. Today I'm not actually going to go into it. I'm just asking you to trust me and to trust the experience in your body of trying these exercises. And like I say, today's pranayama extremely simple, so that hopefully if you wake up in the middle of the night and you find yourself in a heightened state out at the post office or behind the wheel of your car, it's an instant remember. It's not something complicated and filled with science. So that is breathwork number 1, the extended exhale. I'm going to move on now to another really simple one, something that we probably wouldn't necessarily practice in public, although there would be nothing wrong with it. Something we definitely would not practice behind the wheel. And that is when we take one hand and place it on the heart space at the centre of the chest, and one hand on the belly. And then just notice if that creates any tension in the shoulders and in the hands. See if you can release that. See if it might feel better to swap the hands over. There's no right or wrong here. And then just cultivate the breath. And notice what you feel here. The gentle rise and fall of the breath in the chest and the belly. The warmth of your hands. The gentle weight of your hands, that soothing self-touch which offers us a sense of what we call internal grounding. This can be incredibly soothing. I use this in the night time when I wake up with insomnia and perhaps start to spiral a little bit in my mind. Helps to bring the heart rate down. If we want to think about chakras, we're linking solar plexus to heart. Again, not overthinking this, just if you like it, perhaps you add it into your toolkit. So staying here if you would like to, or I will offer you just one more very simple pranayama that I personally use almost on a daily basis, certainly very regularly. So again, this particular one is something that I would do by myself rather than out and about, but you never know. And we can close the eyes for this one to add in a little bit more mindfulness, or of course, as always, keep the eyes open. So to begin with, if you've not practiced this before, it can feel a little bit complicated, but once you've got it, it's there for life. So on the next inhale, floating the right hand ahead of you and in front of you, keeping the arm relaxed. Exhale to float the fingers, the middle finger, connecting with the center of the brows, the forehead. Inhale to gently float the right hand forward. Exhale to rest the right hand down, back on the knee. Inhale, the left hand floats forwards. Exhale, middle finger to touch that third eye, center of the brows. Inhale, floating left hand forwards. Exhale, back of the hand rests on the knee. Inhale, both hands floating forwards. Exhale, the thumbs coming to the sternum, bowing the head. Namaste. Inhale to extend the hands, the arms. Exhale to rest both hands down, and that's one round. I recommend staying here for at least 5 rounds. Inhale, right hand floats. Exhale, touch. In to float forwards. And to rest. Inhale, left hand floats. Exhale, touch. Inhale, float forwards. Exhale, rest. Inhale, both hands come together in front. Exhale, namaste. Inhale to float. And exhale to rest. And just continue in your own time with your breath, a moving meditation. And it's as if we are sending energy out receiving energy in. Today, to keep this video manageably short for all of us, we're only going to take us through 3 rounds. Whenever you have completed this particular pranayama, really any pranayama is good practice to sit and just notice how you feel. Prana, meaning breath, life force, energy. But just noticing perhaps where you feel that energy in the body, where you don't feel that energy in the body. Just being curious about how the breath work has affected you. So thank you everybody for joining me today, whether you are like me, going through this great awakening that is menopause, or the journey towards menopause, or whether you're simply curious, looking for some calm, looking for some balance. Thank you for exploring that with me and for being curious about pranayama, breathwork, and how it can help us. I will be putting out lots more little videos like this over the next week, just to support us through this week, through Menopause Day, bringing awareness to menopause and support and encouragement. Namaste.